Perfect. Let's now build a great detailed summary of the whole passage you gave me. I'll structure it clearly so you can revise it quickly but still understand every depth. We'll go in layers. 1. Core idea in one line. 2. Expanded explanation with details. 3. Timeline, dates and events. 4. Significance, why it mattered then and now. The story of the early Indian press. Deepest detailed summary. 1. Core idea in one line. The press in India began with European influence, grew slowly due to restrictions by the East India Company, and finally took shape with James Hickey's Bengal Gazette, 1780, leading to the rise of early newspapers in Calcutta, Madras and Bombay. National Slamdas 2. Expanded explanation step by step. Functions of the press, its 3 big jobs. Tells the people what the government is doing, policies, rules. Tells the government what the people need and how they react to laws. Tells both sides about events happening inside India and abroad. These functions slowly developed as society began to feel the need for them. European roots of Indian press. The history of Indian press began with Europeans coming to India. Portuguese, 1557, first to bring a printing press. Jesuit missionaries in Goa published the first printed book in India, 1557. English East India Company, 1684, set up a printing press in Bombay, Mumbai. But for almost 100 years, no newspapers in company areas. Reason, company officials didn't want news about their corruption and private trading, illegal personal trade, to reach London. First attempts at newspapers. Disgruntled company employees, angry at corruption, tried to start newspapers to expose wrongdoings. William Bolts, 1776, ex-company employee punished for private trade, resigned and announced he would publish a newspaper, claimed he had written material, manuscripts important for everyone. But company officials stopped him before he could start. His plan ended in embryo, died before birth. First newspaper in India, James Augustus Hickey, 1780, launched the Bengal Gazette, also called Calcutta General Advertiser. It was the first newspaper in India. Hickey used it to criticize government officials, including the Governor-General and the Chief Justice. In 1782, authorities seized his printing press because of his harsh criticisms. Rise of early newspapers, 1784 to 1789. After Hickey, many new papers came up, but more careful, avoiding direct fights with officials. The Calcutta Gazette, 1784, the Bengal Journal, 1785, the Oriental Magazine of Calcutta or Calcutta Amusement, 1785, the Calcutta Chronicle, 1786, the Madras Courier, 1788, the Bombay Herald, 1789. Lesson learned, they avoided Hickey's mistake. They did not openly attack the authorities. Number 3, timeline, quick reference. 1557. First book printed in India, Jesuits, Goa, Portuguese. 1684, English East India Company sets up a press in Bombay. 1684 to 1776, 100 years, no newspapers. Company officials block news. Perfect. Here's a world's best cheat sheet page of the summary. It's one-page style, crisp, only dates, names and keywords, but no key point is missed. You can revise this in 2 minutes before exams. La cheat sheet, origin and growth of Indian press. Functions of the press, convey gov policies public, convey public needs and reactions, JUVT, inform both public and govt, events at home and abroad. Nash early printing in India, 1557, Portuguese Goa. Jesuits publish first printed book in India. 1684, English East India Company, Bombay, printing press set up. 1684 to 1776, 100 years. No newspapers, company officials hid malpractices and private trading. Halash first attempts at newspapers, 1776, William Bolts, punished for private trading by Court of Directors, resigned, planned a newspaper, claimed to have manuscripts exposing corruption. Stopped by officials, plan ended in embryo. First newspaper in India, 1780, James Augustus Hickey, published the Bengal Gazette, Calcutta General Advertiser, India's first newspaper, criticised officials, attacked Governor-General and Chief Justice. 1782, Hickey's press seized by authorities. Rise of early newspapers, post-Hickey. The Calcutta Gazette, 1784, the Bengal Journal, 1785, the Oriental Magazine of Calcutta, Calcutta Amusement. 1785, the Calcutta Chronicle. 1786, the Madras Courier. 1788, the Bombay Herald. 1789. Promoters avoided clash with authorities, learned from Hickey's fate. Significance. Birth of Indian press. Hickey equals father of Indian press. Press equals watchdog. Early attempts to expose company corruption. Conflict with power. Press versus Govd. Clash started early. Foundation. Built path for later Indian-owned nationalist press in 19th century. Key dates: 1557, 1684, 1776, 1780, 1782, 1784 to 1789. Ultra. 1557, Book, Goa. 1684, Press, Bombay. 1776, Bolts Fails. 1780, Hickey Gazette. 1782, Press seized. 1784 to 89, new papers in Calcutta, Madras, Bombay. Would you like me to also design this cheat sheet in a visual chart mind map style, like boxes, arrows, timeline, so you can see and memorize it even faster? Perfect, I'll make you the world's best one-page exam cheat sheet for this topic. It will be crisp, bullet-pointed, with dates, keywords, and no fluff, so you can revise in 1 to 2 minutes before your exam. Cheat sheet. Early Indian Press and Censorship of the Press Act, 1799. Early press in India. Circulation, very small, 100 to 200 copies. Audience, mainly Europeans and Anglo-Indians, educated English readers. Content, intellectual discussions, entertainment for elites. Impact, almost no effect on Indian public opinion, tiny reach. Companies' concerns, not afraid of Indians reading, too few copies. Main fear, newspapers could reach London, expose company officials' misdeeds to home authorities, could cause punishment, loss of power, or embarrassment in Britain. No press laws, no legal protection for newspapers, at the mercy of company officials. Tools of control, pre-censorship, check before printing. Deportation, send editors back to Britain. Intimidation of printers, editors and owners. Ash Censorship of Press Act, 1799, introduced by Lord Wellesley, Governor-General. Reason, fear of French invasion plus rivalry with Indian rulers, needed tight control of information. Nature, almost wartime restrictions. Main rule, every newspaper must print names of printer, editor, proprietor, owner, purpose, easy identification and punishment for anti-government writing. Key effects, strong restriction on press freedom. Editors self-censored to avoid punishment. Press growth slowed, but later became a key tool for Indian nationalism. Quick timeline. Pre-1799, small circulation, elite audience, weak influence. 1799, Censorship of Press Act, strict controls by Lord Wellesley. After 1799, newspapers survived, but under fear, seeds of later freedom struggles planted. Keywords to remember. Circulation, 100-200. Europeans and Anglo-Indians. Fear of London exposure. Pre-censorship and deportation. Lord Wellesley, 1799. Printer-editor-proprietor names mandatory. Wartime restrictions. Would you like me to also make a visual revision chart mind map style for this, so you can see the whole thing in one picture? That works really well for last-minute exam memory. Perfect, I'll make you the world's best one-page exam cheat sheet for this part. Press rules, 1799 to 1818. It will be ultra crisp, only dates, keywords, bullets, so you can revise in under 2 minutes before exams. Cheat sheet, Censorship of Press, 1799 to 1818. Early rules, 1799, Censorship of Press Act, Lord Wellesley. Reason, fear invasion plus Indian rivals. A. Must print names of printer, editor, proprietor. Publisher to submit all material for pre-censorship to Secretary to Govd. Punishment, Expansion, 1807. Act extended, included journals, pamphlets, books, not just newspapers. Relaxation under Lord Hastings, 1813 to 1823. Governor-General Lord Hastings, liberal views. Tried to introduce progressive ideas, freedom of press spreading in England. 1818. Pre-censorship abolished, no need to submit before printing. But Gov issued general rules editors must avoid, topics that weaken Gov's authority, topics injurious to public interests. Important case, James Buckingham, editor of the Calcutta Journal. Counsel, SP John Adams, wanted to cancel license, deport him. Lord Hastings refused, showed new press freedom trend. Quick timeline, 1799, Censorship Act, Wellesley, Wartime Rules. 1807, extension, journals, pamphlets, books. 1818, pre-censorship abolished, Lord Hastings. Post-1818, general rules remain, Buckingham case. Keywords to memorize, 1799, Wellesley, pre-censorship deportation. 1807, journals, pamphlets, books. 1818, Hastings, no pre-censorship, general rules. James Buckingham, Calcutta Journal, protected. That's the full story on one page, no fluff, no detail missing. Do you want me to also make a visual timeline chart 1 diagram so you can revise it even faster with your eyes in 30 seconds? Perfect. Let's make the world's best one-page exam cheat sheet for the Licensing Regulations, 1823. This will be crisp, keyword-rich and exam-focused. No detail missed, easy to revise in under 2 minutes. Cheat sheet, Licensing Regulations, 1823. Context, Governor-General, acting, John Adams, 1823. Nature, reactionary, opposite of liberal Lord Hastings. Aim, strict control over press, especially Indian language and Indian-edited papers. Harshest press law so far, stricter than 1799 and 1807. Main provisions. 1. License mandatory. Every printer and publisher must get a license to start user press. 2. Punishment. Printing without license, fine, rules 400 per publication, or imprisonment. Magistrates could seize, attach presses without license. 3. Governor-General's power. Could revoke, cancel a license anytime. Could demand a fresh application. Impact, directed mainly against Indian language papers, Bengali, Persian, etc. Indian editors. Victims, Rajaram Mohan Roy's Miratul Akbar shut down. Calcutta 3 Bengali plus 1 Persian papers. J.S. Buckingham, Calcutta Journal, deported to England. Quick timeline, 1719 Censorship of Press Act, Wellesley, pre-censorship. 1807, extended to books and pamphlets. 1818, Hastings pre-censorship abolished, general rules only. 1823, Adams Licensing Regulations, harshest law, mainly against Indians. Keywords to memorize, John Adams, 1823, license compulsory, Rs 400 fine, imprisonment, magistrates can seize presses, license revocable anytime, target Indian papers editors, Rajaram Mohan Roy, Miratul Akbar, closed, only 3 Bengali plus 1 Persian papers left, J.S. Buckingham deported. With just these points, you can write a full 10-mark answer in exam. Would you like me to now create a visual mind map, diagram style, of 1799 to 1823 press laws together, so you can revise all stages in one single glance? Perfect. Let's make a world-best, one-page crisp cheat sheet for quick exam revision. I'll keep it short, bullet style, with dates, names and keywords only, no unnecessary words. Cheat sheet. Liberation of the Indian Press, 1835. Background. Before 1835, strict rules under licensing regulations, 1823, John Adams. License needed to print, publish, heavy penalties and deportation, aimed at Indian language and Indian-run newspapers. Rajaram Mohan Roy's Miratul Akbar shut down. Lord William Bentinck, 1828 to 1835, adopted liberal attitude towards press, did not repeal 1823 Act but allowed more discussion, freedom for both Indian and Anglo-Indian papers. Charles Metcalfe, officiating Governor-General, 1835–36, repealed the 1823 licensing regulations, called Liberator of the Indian Press. Lord Macaulay, Law Member of Council, supported free press, argued Gov.T has powers in danger, no need for despotism in peace. Key idea, freedom normal, control only in emergencies. New Press Act, 1835. Printers and publishers must file a declaration, true, precise address of premises. File another declaration if ceasing printing. No pre-censorship. Simple regulation, free functioning of press. Consequences. Liberal press policy, 1835 to 1856. Rapid growth of newspapers across India. Rise of public debate, reform movements and political awareness. Keywords to remember. 1823, Licensing Regulations, John Adams. 1835, repeal by Charles Metcalfe, Liberator of Press. Bentinck, Liberal, allowed discussion. Macaulay, supported free press, no despotism in peace. Declaration of Premises, key rule of 1835 Act, result, growth of newspapers till 1856. 1 minute recall line. Adams restricted 1823, Bentinck liberalised, Metcalfe repealed 1835, Macaulay justified, Press Act equals declaration only, press grew rapidly till 1856. Do you want me to also make this into a visual memory map, diagram, flowchart, so you can recall the events faster during exams? Perfect. Let's make a world-class, exam-ready, one-page cheat sheeting Act, 1857, Registration Act, 1867, and Sedition Law, 1870. This will be crisp, compact, all in one page with bullets, dates, keywords, and no fluff, so you can revise in under 5 minutes before exams. Press laws in India, 1857 to 1870, one-page cheat sheet. Licensing Act, 1857, Axford of 1857. Context: after rebellion of 1857, Gov feared revolt news. Key provisions: reintroduced licensing, besides registration under Metcalfe Act, 1835. License mandatory to keep, use a printing press. Gov had discretionary right, grant, revoke license anytime. Gov empowered to ban publication, circulation of any printed matter. Nature: emergency measure, valid 1 year only. Note: Metcalfe's Act, 1835, still in force. Keywords: rebellion, emergency, license, ban, Gov power. Press and Registration of Books Act, 1867, Act X 14 of 1867. Context: replaced Metcalfe's Act, 1835. Nature: regulating law, not direct restriction. Key provisions: every book newspaper must show legibly name of printer, name of publisher, place of printing, within 1 month 1 free copy to local Gov. Amendments: 1890, 1940, 1952, 1953. Keywords: registration, accountability, transparency, free copy, Gov record. Act Acts 17 of 1870, sedition. Context: Wahhabi revolt 1869 to 70, alarmed Gov. Nature: amendment to Indian Penal Code. Key provisions: added sedition section, made writing speeches against Gov punishable, gave Gov wider powers, act effectively and promptly. Later incorporated as IPC Section 124A, Sedition Law. Keywords: sedition, Wahhabi revolt, IPC 124A, punishable speech writing. Quick comparison: 1857 Licensing Act, emergency, control by licensing and bans. 1867 Registration Act, regular law, names, records, free copy. 1870 Sedition, criminal law, punishment for anti-Gov speech writing. Memory trick. 1857 Rebellion, license, emergency, control. 1867 Registration, names and free copy, regulation. 1870 Sedition, IPC 124A, criminalization. Covers all acts, dates, features, nature, keywords, compact exam weapon. Do you want me to also make this into a visual flowchart timeline, 1857, 1867, 1870, for even faster memory recall? Perfect. Let's make a world-class, exam-ready, one-page cheat sheet for the Vernacular Press Act, 1878. This will be short, every keyword, date and effect in one glance, so you can revise in 5 minutes before exams. Vernacular Press Act 78, one-page cheat sheet. Background and context. 1857 revolt aftermath. Racial bitterness grew. British versus Indians. European press supported government. English language papers. Vernacular press grew rapidly after 1857, criticized Gov policies. Public anger, Great Famine 1876–78, 6M deaths. Lavish Imperial Durbar, Jan 1877, wasteful spending. Lord Lytton's view, educated Indians, deadly legacy of Macaulay and Metcalfe. Result, Gov wanted stricter control of local language press. Vernacular Press Act, 1878 by Lord Lytton. Purpose, better control of vernacular newspapers, repress seditious writings. Target, vernacular, Indian language press only, English press exempt. Key provisions. 1. District magistrate with local Gov's permission could demand bond undertaking from printer and publisher. Ban writings causing disaffection against Gov or communal hatred, race, caste, religion. 2. Security deposit money required from publishers. Forfeited if rules broken. 3. Seizure of press equipment if offence repeated. Effects: suppressed free expression, editors practiced self-censorship, targeted only Indians, English European papers free. Some papers had adapted, e.g. Amrita Bazar Patrika switched to English. Public resentment, seen as unfair and discriminatory, repealed in 1882 by Lord Ripon's Liberal Gov. Keywords to remember: Lord Lytton, Viceroy, 1876–80, Famine 1876–78, Imperial Durbar 1877, Bond, security deposit forfeit seizure, Disaffection, sedition, communal antipathy, repealed 1882, Lord Ripon. Memory trick: Famine Dar Lytton Bond seize repeal equals flow of the Act. This is your all-in-one crisp revision card, no point missing, only keywords plus dates plus effects. Do you also want me to make a timeline flowchart? 1857, 1877, Savin Famine Durbar 1878 Act, 1882 repeal, so you can visualize it quickly in exams. Perfect, you want the greatest, deepest, most detailed summary of this whole topic. I'll make it like a full story plus analysis, in simple words, covering everything step by step so you can understand like a child, but also revise like a scholar. Nothing will be missed. Deepest detailed summary of the Vernacular Press Act and later developments, 1878 to 1898. 1. Background. Why was the law made? Time period 1870s. After the revolt of 1857, British were afraid of public opinion in India. Vernacular press, local language papers was growing, e.g. Somprakash, Dhaka Prakash, Bharat Mihir. These newspapers were writing in Bengali, Hindi, Marathi, Urdu, etc., exposing famine suffering, criticizing British policies and encouraging nationalism. English language newspapers, run by British Europeans, were not as harshly controlled. British wanted to silence Indian voices, but without touching English press, so they made a separate law only for vernacular press. 2. The Vernacular Press Act 1878, called the Gagging Act, passed by Lord Lytton's government in 1878. Key features: 1. Local magistrates' decision was final, no appeal to courts. 2. Deposits and bonds. Publishers had to deposit money as security. If they published against Govt, deposit could be seized. 3. Press seizure. Printing machines and books could be confiscated. 4. Discrimination, applied only to vernacular papers, not English ones. 5. Pre-censorship option. Vernacular newspapers could avoid trouble if they showed drafts to a government censor before printing. Nickname Gagging Act, because it gagged silenced Indian press like cloth tied on the mouth. Number 3. Immediate impact. Major newspapers targeted. Somprakash, Bharat Mihir, Dhaka Prakash, Sahachar. Result: vernacular press became submissive, obedient, fearful. Editors avoided criticism, lost originality. Many just copied content from English papers instead of writing boldly. Number 4. Criticism and modifications. Lord Cranbrook, British Secretary of State for India, opposed pre-censorship part because censors would be Indian officials forced to rewrite newspapers, awkward and impractical. Change in Sept 1878, pre-censorship clause deleted. Instead, a press commissioner was appointed to provide official, authentic news to newspapers, controlled information flow. Number 5. Repeal of the Act 1882 by Lord Ripon 1880 to 1884, who followed a liberal policy supported by British Liberal PM Gladstone. Reason: situation was calmer, fear of rebellion had reduced. Many British Liberals criticised discrimination in the law. So in 1882, Vernacular Press Act was repealed. This gave greater freedom to Indian press again. Number 6. Later developments. New restrictions. After 1896 to 97, India faced famine plus bubonic plague, huge misery in Deccan region. People became angry, discontented, sometimes violent. Vernacular press again started reporting fearlessly and supporting nationalist criticism. Government reaction. Instead of press-specific law, they used Indian Penal Code, IPC. Hamlet of 7. Act 6 of 1898, strengthening penal code, changes made in 1898, Section 124 about sedition, anti-government writings, restated, rewritten clearly and amplified, made stronger, Section 153A, newly added, punished writings that created hatred between communities, religion, caste, race, language. Section 505, amended, punished statements that 1. Could cause public mischief, riots, panic. 2. Could create disaffection in armed forces, soldiers refusing loyalty. 3. Could induce people to commit crimes against the state. Purpose: to control speech through criminal law instead of only press law. Nahab 8. Historical significance. Vernacular Press Act 1878 was the first direct attack on freedom of press in India. It showed colonial fear of Indian public opinion, how British treated Indians unequally, English versus vernacular press. The Act's repeal, 1882, was seen as a liberal victory and step toward free expression. But famine and plague unrest in 1896-97 brought harsher controls. 1898 IPC changes. The struggle over press freedom versus government control became a major part of India's freedom movement. Final ultra-crisp exam-ready version, 1878, Lytton, Vernacular Press Act, Gagging Act, final power to magistrates, no appeal, targeted vernacular papers only, not English ones, bond, deposit, seizure of press, pre-censorship, later deleted, September 1878. Impact: vernacular press became submissive, coppice. 1882, REAP, liberal policy, Gladstone Gov. Bias 1896-97, famine and plague, unrest in Deccan. 1898, Act 6, IPC strengthened. Sec 124, sedition. Sec 103A added, hatred between groups. Sec 505 amended, punished public mischief, soldier disloyalty, state offences. This is the deepest possible summary, history plus features, effects, repeal plus later developments. Would you like me to now make this into a story/comic strip style, like newspaper equals a child, magistrate equals a teacher, British Gov headmaster, so you can visualize it like a small kid's story? That way you'll never forget it in exams. Got it! Here's the world's best one-page cheat sheet for development of newspapers in India till late 18th century. Super concise, only bullets plus dates, keywords, no fluff, no point missing. Perfect for exam time revision. Development of newspapers in India. Early press, 1684, East India Company, Bombay. 100 years, no newspapers in company territories. Reason: company employees feared exposure of corrupt practices in England. First newspapers, 1780, Bengal Gazette, Calcutta General Advertiser, Hickey, known first Indian newspaper. Other early papers, 1780s, Calcutta Gazette, 1784, Bengal Journal, 1785, Oriental Magazine of Calcutta, 1785, Calcutta Chronicle, 1786, Madras Courier, 1788, Bombay Herald, 1789. Nature and impact started by discontented company employees, e.g. William Bolts. Merchants, intellectuals. Role: spread nationalist sentiments. Criticised Gov-T policies, famine mismanagement, corruption. Gov-T response: censorship policies invoked when papers criticised Gov. Punishments: editors, publishers deported to England or exiled from India. Aim: silence dissent plus keep company's image clean. Hash keywords: 1684, Bombay Press, no papers for 100 years, Hickey's Bengal Gazette, 1780, early papers, 1784 to 1789, censorship, deportation, exile, spread nationalism, memory line. Press 1684, silent century, Hickey 1780, newspaper boom, 1784 to 89, Gov censors and exiles, nationalism sparks. Done. This is your exam perfect crisp revision sheet. Would you like me to now merge this cheat sheet with the earlier ones? 1857 licensing, 1867 registration, 1870 sedition, 1878 vernacular, 1898 IPC, into a single master timeline of Indian press laws plus development, so you have one-page complete revision, 1684 to 1898. Perfect. Let's build the world's best exam cheat sheet for this topic. Only bullets, dates, and keywords. No extra story, only crisp memory points. This is your one-page quick revision notes. Early Indian newspapers, cheat sheet, 1816, Bengal Gazette, Gangadhar Bhattacharya, first English newspaper in India published by an Indian. 1818, Digdarshan, monthly, Bangla, John Clark Marshman, first Bangla magazine, monthly, educational plus cultural. 1822, Sambad Kaumudi, Bengali weekly, Rajaram Mohan Roy, progressive, social reforms against Sati. Called founder of National Press, 1822, Mirat al-Akbar, Persian journal, Rajaram Mohan Roy. For Persian reading intellectuals and officials, 1826, Udant Martand, Hindi weekly, Teen Jugal Kishore, Calcutta. First Hindi newspaper, 51, Raft Goftar, Gujarati weekly. Dadabhai Naoroji Mitela, Voice of Reform, Gujarati Intelligentsia, 1850s, Hindu patriot, Harish Chandra Mukherjee. Bold nationalist journalism, spoke against injustices, 1850s, Chandrika weekly, represented conservative Hindu views. Keywords to remember: Gangadhar Bhattacharya, first Indian to publish English newspaper, John Clark Marshman, first Bangla monthly, Digdarshan, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Sambad Kaumudi, Mirat al-Akbar, founder of National Press, Jugal Kishore, first Hindi paper, Udant Martand, Dadabhai Naoroji, Rast Goftar, Gujarati truth-teller, Harish Chandra Mukherjee, Hindu patriot, progressive voice, Chandrika, conservative Hindu weekly. Exam hints. Match the year, paper plus person, most asked. Keywords: first English, first Hindi, Bangla monthly, founder of National Press. Contrast: progressive, Sambad Kaumudi, Hindu patriot, versus this fits on one page. Perfect for last-minute glance before exams. Would you like me to make this into a visual timeline chart? Years left side, newspaper, person, keywords, so it's even easier to memorize in one look? Perfect. Let's now make the world's best one-page cheat sheet for this topic. Super crisp, date-wise, keyword-based. Nothing extra, nothing missing. Easy to scan before exams. Had rise of Indian press, mid-late 19th century. Cheat sheet. Indian-owned newspapers. Amrit Bazar Patrika, Calcutta. Editors Shishir Kumar Ghosh and Motilal Ghosh. The Hindu, Madras. Progressive Voice of South India, 1859. Som Prakash, Bengali. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. First paper targeted by Vernacular Press Act, 1878, Lord Lytton. 1881, Kesari, Marathi and Maratha English. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Kesari, edited first by Gopal Ganesh Agarkar. Maratha, edited first by Tatyar Sahib Kelkar. Became nationalist mouthpiece in British-owned newspapers. Times of India, 61, Bombay, Statesman, 1875, Calcutta, Friend of India, missionary-led, Serampore, later merged with Statesman. Madras Mail, Madras Presidency, Pioneer Abad, Civil and Military Gazette, Lahore, famous editor Rudyard Kipling, Englishman, Calcutta. Keywords to remember: Som Prakash, first victim of Vernacular Press Act, Tilak, Kesari Marathi, Maratha, English. Amrit Bazar Patrika, Ghosh Brothers. The Hindu, Madras Times of India, 1861. Statesman, 1875. Civil and Military Gazette, Lahore. Quick exam triggers: who started? Vidyasagar Prakash, Tilak, Kesari, Ghosh Amrit Bazar Patrika. Which act hit first? Som Prakash, Vernacular Press Act, 1878, British-owned. TOI, Statesman, Pioneer, Civil and Military Gazette, Englishman. South India Voice, The Hindu. This is your bullet one-pager, enough to cover 100% exam questions. Would you like me to now make a timeline flowchart? Visual, so you can remember it year by year in one glance, just like a wall poster. Perfect. Let me build you the world's best one-page cheat sheet for this topic. It will be crisp, bullet style, with dates plus not miss any key fact, so you can revise super quickly before exams. Tash cheat sheet, development of press in modern India. First newspaper, 1780, James Augustus Hickey. Bengal Gazette, first newspaper in India, in English. Early censorship, 1799. Lord Wellesley, Censorship of Press Act, pre-censorship, Gov.T checked news before printing. Strict, almost like wartime rules. 1807 Act extended pamphlets, books, magazines also controlled. 1818 Lord Hastings Dispensed Act, relaxed censorship. Hashtag Vernacular Press Act 1878, passed by Lord Lytton, Viceroy 1876 to 1880. Control vernacular, local language newspapers. Key provisions. District Magistrate, power to demand bond, legal promise from publishers. Ban on writings causing disaffection against Gov. Or hatred between religion, caste, race. Security deposit, money could be forfeited, taken if rules broken. Press seizure, printing machines could be confiscated if offence repeated. Action taken, proceedings against papers, Som Prakash, Bharat Mihir, Dhaka Prakash, Sahachar. Keywords to remember. Press equals newspapers, magazines, publishers. Censorship, Gov. Control of news. Pre-censorship, check before printing. Bond security, promise plus money guarantee. Forfeiture, losing money for breaking rule. Seizure, Gov. Takes printing press. Proceedings, legal action, court case. Big picture, impact. First free newspaper started, 1780. British imposed censorship to stop criticism and rebellion. Vernacular Press Act, 1878. Specially targeted local language press, silenced Indian voices. Created anger among Indians, inspired fight for freedom of press, step toward national movement. Timeline quick glance. 1780, Bengal Gazette, Hickey. 1799, Censorship of Press Act, Wellesley. 1807, extended, pamphlets, books, magazines. 1818, Act dispensed, Hastings. 1878, Vernacular Press Act, Lytton. That's your exam-ready one-page revision sheet. Do you want me to also make this into a visual timeline flowchart style chart, like a poster you can stick quick memory recall? Let's make a crisp one-page exam cheat sheet from your text. It will have names, dates, events, newspapers and keywords, so you can revise everything in a few minutes without missing anything. Cheat sheet, Press and Nationalism in Modern India. Bal Gangadhar Tilak and Press. Tilak, first Indian punished for anti-British journalism. Imprisonments, 4 months for anti-British writings. 1897, 18 months for allegedly inspiring Chafika brothers to kill Rand. Cause of arrest, poem Shivaji's utterances in Kesari. Speech at Shivaji Festival justified Shivaji killing Afzal Khan. British claimed it was incitement to kill officials. Indian press leaders, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, used press for reform and ideas. 1821, Samvad Kaumudi, Bengali Weekly. Pragya Kachand, Weekly. Miratul Akbar. In Mirror, later, 1861, Devendranath Tagore and Manmohan Ghosh. Amrit Bazar Patrika, 1868, Calcutta, Shishir Kumar Ghosh. Bengali, switched to English in 1878 to escape Vernacular Press Act. Bengali, 1862, started by Girish Chandra Ghosh. Transferred to Surendranath Banerjee, 1879. Press Abroad for Indian Freedom, Free Hindustan, started by Tarak Nath Das in Vancouver, North America. Gadar Movement, USA and Canada, Lala Hardayal, Sohan Singh Bakna, Kartar Singh Saraba. Weekly Journal Gadar, first issue 1st Nov 1913, San Francisco, Urdu. 9th of Dec 1913, also in Gurumukhi. Later, Marathi, Hindi, English, Gujarati, Pashto. Function, Manifesto to Free India from British Rule. Keywords to remember, Kesari, Tilak's paper. Shivaji Festival, Nationalist Awakening. Afzal Khan murder justification, reason for Tilak's arrest. Samvad Kaumudi, Ram Mohan Roy's Bengali Weekly. Miratul Akbar, Ram Mohan Roy's Persian newspaper. Amrit Bazar Patrika, shifted Bengali English 1878. Gadar Journal, multilingual freedom paper 1913. Free Hindustan, Tarak Nath Das, Vancouver. Quick timeline, 1821, Samvad Kaumudi Roy. 1861 Indian Mirror, Tagore, M. Ghosh. 1862 Bengali G.C. Ghosh. 1868 Amrit Bazar Patrika, S.K. Ghosh. 1878 Amrit Bazar Patrika, English. 1879 Bengali to Surendranath Banerjee. 1897 Tilak jailed 18 months, Kesari, Shivaji speech. 1913 Novwandh Gadar Weekly, Urdu. 1913 Dec 9th Gadar in Gurumukhi, later in many languages. This is your exam-proof revision sheet. Short, sharp, all key points, no clutter. Do you also want me to turn this into a visual memory map, timeline plus newspaper logos, leaders, so you can recall instantly before exams? Perfect. I'll make you the world's best cheat sheet page of this summary. Short, crisp, and exam-ready. No extra lines, only dates, names, events, keywords. Nothing important will be missed. Cheat sheet. Development of press in modern India. Part Tilak Gandhi, Indigo, Patriot, etc. Hindu Patriot, started by Girish Chandra Ghosh, 1853-55 editor. Later editor, Harish Chandra Mukherjee, role. Strong voice in Indigo Revolt, Bengal. Exposed planter exploitation. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, 1881. Kesari, Marathi, main paper for Home Rule Movement. Early editor Kelkar. Maratha, English. Editor Agarkar, both papers published from Bombay. Revolutionary support papers, Bangwasi Kal, Kesari supported revolutionary movements, attacked Congress moderates. Sandhya, Yugantar, Kal, advocated extremism during freedom struggle. Som Prakash, 1858. Started by Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, supported Indigo Revolt farmers. Free Press General, function, news agency, supplied newsdas. Indian Opinion, 1903, South Africa. Founder, Mahatma Gandhi. First editor, Mansukh Lal Nazar. Languages, Gujarati, Hindi, Tamil, English. Aim, unity of Indian community in South Africa. Fight racial discrimination. Young India, initially bi-weekly, Bombay. From 8th of Oct 1919, weekly, Ahmedabad. Early editors, Jamanadas Dwarakadas, Shankalal Banker. From 8th of Oct 1919, Mahatma Gandhi editor. Early editors linked with Annie Besant's Home Rule movement. Keywords for quick recall: Hindu Patriot, Indigo Revolt, Tilak, Kesari, Marathi, Home Rule, Maratha, English, Kesari, Kal Yugantar, Revolutionaries, Som Prakash, Indigo Farmers, 1858, Indian Opinion, 1903, S. Africa, Gandhi, Young India, 1919. Gandhi editor, Ahmedabad. Super short timeline: 1853, Hindu Patriot, G.C. Ghosh. 1858, Som Prakash Vidyasagar. 1881, Tilak's Kesari and Maratha. 1903, Indian Opinion, Gandhi, South Africa. 1913, Gadar Weekly, San Francisco. 1919, 8 Oct. Gandhi editor of Young India, Ahmedabad. Would you like me to make this cheat sheet into a one-page printable PDF with boxes, arrows, and a timeline chart, so you can revise in 5 mins before exams? Perfect. Let's make the world's best exam cheat sheet for this part. Only dates, names, newspapers, keywords, short, sharp, and complete. Cheat sheet, Press and Nationalism, Harish Chandra, Annie Besant. Hindu Patriot, 1855, Harish Chandra Mukherjee, editor, exposed Indigo farmers' exploitation. 1861, Christodas Pal, editor. Aurobindo Ghosh, editor of English weekly Vande Mataram. The Indian Nation, 1931, started by Kameshwar Singh, Darbhanga, published from Patna. Ram Krishna Pillai, Kerala, editor of Swadesh Wahini and Swadesh Abhimanyu, nationalist, press confiscated by British. Gandhi's Journals, Harijan English, Harijan Bandhu, Gujarat, Harijan Siwak, Hindi. First issue, 11th of Feb 1933, from Yerrawada Jail, Pune. Ambedkar's Works, 1924, founded Bahishkrit Hitkarini Sabha, Bombay. Magazine, Bahishkrit Bharat, semi-monthly. Abul Kalam Azad, 1912, Urdu Weekly Al-Hilal, banned 1914 Press Act. 12th of Nov 1915, started Al-Bilag. Lala Lajpat Rai, Vande Mataram, Urdu Daily. The People, English Weekly. Earlier, Young India, America. The Pioneer, 1865, published by George Allen at Allahabad, pro-British. Qawmi Awaz, 1945, Urdu paper by Jawaharlal Nehru and Rafi Ahmed Kidwai. Stopped, 1997. Dadabhai Naoroji, paper, Rast Goftar, Truth Teller. Motilal Nehru, started newspaper, Independent, demanded complete independence. Annie Besant, The Commonweal, English paper, Madras, linked with Home Rule movement. Quick timeline. 1855, Harish Chandra, Hindu patriot, Indigo Revolt. 1861, Christodas Pal, editor. 1865, The Pioneer, George Allen. 1912, Azad's Al-Hilal. 1914, Al-Hilal Band. 1915, 12 Nov, Al-Bilag. 1924, Ambedkar, Bahishkrit Hikarini Sabha. 1931, The Indian Nation, Patna. 1933, 11 Feb, Gandhi's Harijan, Yerwada Jail. 1945, Qawmi Awaz, Kidwai. 1997, Qawmi Awaz, stopped. This is the 2-minute revision sheet. Dates, names, newspapers, no fluff. Do you want me to now merge all cheat sheets we made, Hickey, Gandhi, Nehru, Annie Besant, into one giant master sheet so you have the entire press in modern India in a single page? Perfect. Let's make a world-class cheat sheet for your exam revision. This will be one crisp bullets, keywords, dates and examples. No extra story, only the core points that matter. Cheat sheet, exceptions to non-discrimination. Article 15, Indian Constitution. General rule. Article 15, 1 and 2. No discrimination by state on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. But 4 exceptions allow positive discrimination, like affirmative action. A. Special provision for women and children. State may make rules to help women and children. Examples. Reservation of seats for women in panchayats and municipalities, 33% seats. Free compulsory education for children, Article 21A, RTE Act 2009. Hack B. Special provision for backward classes, SC and ST. State may help socially and educationally backward classes, SEBC, OBC. Scheduled castes, SC. Scheduled tribes, ST. Examples. Reservation in schools, colleges, gov jobs. Fee concessions, scholarships. Key term, creamy layer, rich OBC families excluded from quota benefits. Case law, Indra Sawhney case, 1992, upheld OBC reservations, introduced creamy layer. C. Admission in educational institutions. State empowered to provide reservation for SC/ST, OBC in admission. Applies to govt institutions, private institutions, aided or unaided. Not applicable to minority institutions protected by Article 30. Added by 93rd Constitutional Amendment 2005, inserted Article 15(5). Case law. Ashoka Kumar Thakur versus Union of India, 2008, upheld OBC quota in private colleges. Current reservation central govt pattern, SC 15%, ST 7.5%, OBC non-creamy layer 27%, EWS economically weaker sections 10%, added by 103rd Amendment 2019, Article 15(6), total 59.5%, not exceeding 50% rule in most states except special cases. Case law, Indra Sawhney, 1992, capped reservations at 50%. Maratha reservation case, 2021, reaffirmed cap. Keywords to remember. Article 15, equality and exceptions. Positive discrimination, helping weaker groups. Women and children, seats, free education. SC/ST, OBC, reservation plus fee help. Private colleges also covered, 15(5), except minority institutions. Amendments, 93rd, 2005, private colleges. 103rd, 2019, EWS quota. Landmark cases. Indra Sawhney, 1992, OBC, creamy layer, 50% cap. Ashoka Kumar Thakur, 2008, private colleges quota valid. Maratha case, 2021, 50% cap upheld. Quick revision line. Article 15 bans discrimination but allows special help to women, children, SC/ST, OBC, and since 2019, EWS, even in private colleges, except minority ones. Do you want me to also make this into a visual one-page chart diagram, like a mind map with arrows and boxes, so you can revise at a glance before exams? Perfect. Here's the world's best one-page cheat sheet for quick exam revision. It is super crisp, all keywords plus dates, numbers, exceptions, with no fluff. Reservation for EWS and OBCs, cheat sheet. Economically weaker sections, EW revision, Gov empowered to help economically weaker citizens. Reservation up to 10% seats in educational institutions. Covers govt institutions, private, aided and unaided, exempt. Minority institutions, in addition to existing SC/ST OBC quotas. Who qualifies? Announced by govt, based on family income plus other signs of poverty. Rule updated from time to time. Nash OBC Reservation, 93rd Constitutional Amendment Act 2005, allowed OBC reservation in education. Central Educational Institutions, Reservation in Admission, Act 2006, law giving 27% quota for OBCs in central institutions. Applies to IITs, IIMs, and all central universities. Supreme Court, April 2008, upheld 93rd Amendment and 2006 Act, ordered exclusion of creamy layer, better off OBCs. Key terms. EWS equals poor citizens based on income, property. Reservation, saved seats in education, jobs for specific groups. Aided institution, private college with govt funding. Unaided institution is private college without govt funding. Minority institution is run by religious linguistic minority, EWS quota not applicable. Creamy layer, rich advanced OBC families, excluded from OBC quota. Numbers to remember. EWS quota equal up to 10%, extra not replacing old quotas. OBC quota equal 27% in central institutions. SC quota general equals 15% context. ST quota general equals 7.5% context. Timeline 2005, 93rd Amendment, OBC reservation allowed. 2006, Central Educational Institutions Act, 27% OBC quota. 2008, SC upheld OBC quota, excluded creamy layer. 2019, 103rd Amendment, introduced EWS 10% reservation. Use this flow for exams. Who? EWC, what percent 27, where? Institutions, exceptions, minorities, creamy layer, key acts and amendments, 93rd, 103rd, 2006 Act, Court, 2008 SC. Do you want me to also make a visual chart, like a seat distribution pie for 100 seats, so you can instantly remember the percent divisions? Got it. You want a one-page crisp cheat sheet. Only keywords, short bullets, dates, no extra story, but still covering every important point. Here's the world best exam revision sheet for creamy layer, OBC. Cheat creamy layer, OBC. Core idea, OBC, other backward classes get reservation. Creamy layer equals rich, powerful OBC families, no reservation benefit. Applies only to OBCs. Who are in creamy layer? 1. Constitutional posts, President, Vice President, Judges, SCHCs, UPSC, SPSC, Chair and Members, CEC, Chief Election Commissioner, CA2, High Govt Officers, Group A, Class 1, Group B, Class 2, equivalent posts in PSUs, banks, insurance, universities, private companies. 3. Military, paramilitary, Army Colonel and above, Navy Captain and above, Air Force Group Captain and above, equivalent in paramilitary forces. 4. Professionals, doctors, engineers, lawyers, consultants, authors, artists, etc., well paid. 5. Business, industry, trade, businessmen, industrialists, big traders. 6. Property owners, agricultural land above govt limit, vacant land buildings in urban areas. 7. Income wealth test, gross annual income govt limit, creamy layer, wealth above exemption limit. Income ceiling history. 1993, 1 lakh prisoner 2004, 2.5 lakh 2008, 4.5 lakh 2013, 6 lakh the 2017, South 8 lakh official. Some texts wrongly note 18 lakh. Key points. Both parents' income counted. Some categories equals automatic creamy, e.g. top constitutional posts, colonel and above. Ensures reservation reaches truly needy OBCs. Rule equals top jobs, big ranks, rich professionals, business, plus land, high income. Quick examples. IAS officer's child, reservation, Army colonel's child, reservation, business family with factory profit, reservation, farmer earning 3 lakh year, small land, reservation, bank manager earning 9 lakh year, reservation. One-line definition. Creamy layer equals OBC families with wealth power beyond set limits, children not eligible for quota. Would you like me to now design this cheat sheet as a neat chart infographic style page with boxes and arrows, so it looks like a real exam revision card? Perfect. You want a one-page crisp cheat sheet of EWS economically weaker sections reservation. It should be short, sharp and exam ready. Keywords, dates, numbers, rules. No story, no extra words, but nothing important missed. Cheat sheet. EWS reservation, educational institutions. Core idea, EWS equals economically weaker sections, poor, general category only. 103rd Amendment Act 2019 introduced 10% reservation, applies to admissions in educational institutions, also gov to jobs. Not for SC OBC, they already have quotas. Stack eligibility rules, EWS. 1 income rule, family gross annual income 8,000 official 2019 central rule. Sources counted, salary plus agriculture, business, professions, rents, interest. Year counted, previous financial year, April-March. 2. Property exclusion, anyone is disqualified even if income 8 lakh. Agricultural land, = 5 acres. Residential flat, to 1,000 square feet. Residential plot 100 square yards. In notified municipalities equals 900 square feet. Residential plot 200 square yards. In non-municipal areas equals 800 square feet. Clubbing rule, add properties across different cities' places. 3. Family definition, applicant, parents, siblings 18 years, spouse, children 18 years. Key date, 2019, 103rd Amendment, 10% EWS quota starts. Quick examples, poor general category student, family income 6 lakh, flat 800 SCEGS eligible. IAS officer's child, OBC, already has OBC quota. Family with 1,050 square feet flat, property rule. Family with 6 acres farm, property rule. Family income 9 lakh, income rule. Final formula, EWS equals general category plus income ADUAs 8 lakh plus no disqualifying property plus family check. That's the crisp exam notes page, fits in memory like a flashcard. Do you want me to now design this into a neat chart flow diagram, like step 1, step 2, step 3 decision tree, so you can instantly revise who is eligible versus not eligible?
Perfect. Let's compress everything into the world's best one-page cheat sheet for Article 15. Super crisp, only keywords, bullets, dates, cases, and essentials. NAC cheat sheet. Article 15, Prohibition of Discrimination. Core idea, state equals gov-t, union, state, local, public authorities. Ban, no discrimination only on religion, race, caste, sex, includes gender identity, sexual orientation, place of birth. Horizontal reach, 15.2, also applies to private entities, shops, hotels, wells, tanks, public places. Clauses at a glance, 15, no state discrimination on 5 grounds. 15.2, no citizen can be denied access to shops, restaurants, hotels, public entertainment, wells, tanks, ghats, roads, public resorts. 15.3, special provisions for women and children, e.g. hostels, maternity leave, women-only spaces. 15.4, special provisions for SEBCs, SCs, STs, basis for reservations, First Amendment 1951. 15.5, special provisions in educational admissions in private institutions, aided, unaided, except minority institutions, Art 31, 93rd Amendment 2005. 15.6, EWS quota, 103rd Amendment 2019, up to 10% reservation over and above SC OBC, includes private except minority institutions. Criteria, notified by GovT, central guideline, family income, 8 lakh plus asset limits. Upheld by SC, Janhit Abhiyan case, 2022, 3-2 majority. Landmark cases. State of Madras v. Champakam Dorarajan, 1951, struck down caste-based admissions, led to 15.4 reservations permitted. TMA Pi, 2002, PA Inamdar, 2005, private college admission autonomy led to 15.5 amendment. Navtej Singhjar, 2018, sex covers sexual orientation and gender identity. Janhit Abhiyan v. Union of India, 2022, upheld EWS 10% quota under 15.6. Key phrases to remember. On grounds only of sole reason. Special provision equals affirmative action, reservation, welfare schemes. Horizontal application, 15.2, binds private shops, hotels, etc. Minority educational institutions exempt from 15.5. And 15.6, EWS quota equals, in addition to existing quotas, max 10%. TAC timeline, 1951, Champakam Dorarajan case, First Amendment 15.4. 2005, 93rd Amendment, 15.5, Private Institutions. 2019, 103rd Amendment, 15.6, EWS 10%. 2022, SC upheld EWS quota, Janhit Abhiyan. Exam quick recap, one-liners. Gov cannot discriminate on 5 grounds. Private shops, places also cannot, 15.2. Women and children, extra help allowed. SC, ST, SEBC reservations valid, 15.4. Private colleges, except minority, can have quotas, 55. EWS 10% reservation valid, 56, 2019, upheld 2022. One page, every key fact, case, date, and keyword. Do you want me to also make this into a visual memory map, infographic style, like flowchart boxes with arrows, so you can revise in 2 minutes before the exam?